I guess I'll explain my playthrough.
Yeah.
Because I only had one character, and I thought this was like I bashed my head against this area because I was like, this is the only place I need to go.
Yeah.
Therefore, this is the place. This is what I need to figure out. So, I'm gonna say this right now, Connor. I really fucking enjoyed this game.
Oh, hell yeah.
I had a great time.
Hell yeah.
Number one, this is like the type of horror that I fucking love,
Yeah, me
which is
too.
like Lovecraftian horror, where it just every enemy you encounter and everything you see in that castle just screams something that is just outer worldly that humans just should not understand and should not ever encounter at all. And I fucking love that feeling. I was terrified playing the game.
It's horrifying.
Yes, it's fucking horrifying.
Yeah.
And especially the music as well. The way
like
the
the
music,
droning.
the fucking, it wasn't even music. It was just sound.
Yeah.
That just like, it was like fucking brown noise or some shit like that.
Yeah,
like,
no, the atmosphere of this game and like the visuals and everything, just like the theming around it is like also something I absolutely love.
Yeah.
But man, I can't say I had a fun playing this.
It's one of
To
those
be
games
honest.
where like you're
I
like,
just don't have the patience for
you're
it.
like, this is
Yeah.
pain, but the more you're like in it, the more you're like, I'm just so sucked into the world.
Yeah.
So
I wanted to be sucked into the world if I could play it for more than 5 minutes at a time, you know?
So I had like so many little aha moments in my playthrough.
Yeah.
The first part was, of course, figuring out that like after being killed by the guard for about 10 times or some shit, then I started realizing, oh, instead of trying to use bloodlust, maybe let's like cut off all the limbs first.
Yeah.
And then I would eventually get to the point where I would cut off the arm first so he can't like cleave my arm off, and then I would just like RNG it and just
Yeah.
go for the head.
Yeah.
That's normally a safe way of handling it.
Yeah. I would cut off. I didn't realize this, but can you search up? I don't know how many guards there are in Fear and Hunger.
It's the main one. If you type
The
in Fear
main
and
one?
Hunger guard, it
Fear and Hunger main guard.
It's-
So can I ask something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
You didn't see the scary version.
Oh, so yeah. That was like the version.
That's the normal one.
Yeah, that's the
that's-
one I fought, yeah.
That's the one I fought as well. I'm just kind of having this realization now. Is that his dick?
Yeah.
That's his dick.
That's
I
his
thought-
cock.
I thought.
What did you think it was?
I thought it was his tail.
What? That's his cock.
I was like, oh, his appendage is like shaking or something. I was
Yeah.
like, I gotta cut off the tail. The tail.
No.
The tail's doing too much damage.
And, you know-
So yeah, I would cut off the cleaver, cut off the tail, and then go for the head. And if I get hit, I would basically just restart my run. I'd be like, all right, dead run.
Right.
Let me try again. But so before I figured that out, I basically just ran past them.
Well, congrats. You figured out the optimal strat of the game.
Yeah.
Which is to avoid fighting.
Yeah. Basically, I would realize that I just had to avoid fighting for as long as possible.
Yeah, but isn't that cool that like the game, it knows that you've been taught to fight everything that comes your way. That's
Yeah.
what we do in video games.
Yeah.
And so you have this game that almost never rewards you. You don't get loot. You
Yeah.
don't get XP.
Yeah.
There is no reason to ever take a fight.
Yeah.
Like there's literally no, because obviously we're just programmed to get a fight and we get stronger.
Yeah.
But in this game, there is, you are always basically pushed to be like, do not fight. There is zero benefit to fighting unless you're fighting a boss or there are some aspects of the game that need to. But it tries to teach you really early on, like, you don't need to fight. And also it tries to teach you like, all right, look, going through this gate is not working. Why don't you try somewhere else? But if you'd have picked one of the harder modes, so one thing that, it's not a spoiler or anything, but one thing that happens if you'd pick even I think one higher up is that you might have noticed the dogs barking. Did you ever fight those dogs?
No.
No.
Okay, well, good, because you're not supposed to beat them. They will actually, in the harder versions, go into the castle and chase you down.
Oh.
But they
shit.
won't chase you down if you go down the side way.
Right.
So, you know, and I don't think telling you any of this is going to like help you much. It's kind of just pointing you in the right direction. But even then, if I told you like that, it's not going to affect, you're still going to have a really hard time because the game, again, doesn't tell you anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my first playthrough, which I managed to get to an ending, I pretty much missed like 70% of the game's mechanics.
Yeah.
There was so much of the game I didn't know because it's never explained. And it was only ever like through kind of looking at my playthrough and seeing what other people were doing. I was like, whoa, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
But that was what was really awesome is that I had this whole experience from 20 hours of playing the game. And I thought, good job, Connor, you've done it. You've beaten it. And then I'd missed like half the story. I'd missed half the game mechanics. And I was like, oh, okay, so I went back to play it, and I had so much more fun than getting to explore some of the other stuff. I was like, oh, this is fucking cool because the universe is so awesome.
Yeah.
Like the lore they've set up.
What were you supposed to do with the girl that you saved from the cage?
That's so that.
So I saved her.
I have no idea.
Okay, so my first run, I got the first character. He learned the skill lock picking, which was really helpful because I managed to like get through
He's the
doors.
mercenary, he can lock
Yeah,
pick.
the mercenary that can lock pick. And I think it's like my first or second playthrough with the mercenary. I found a girl trapped in a cage, and it was like, oh, I can get her out. Yeah, this girl. I can get her out with my lockpicking skill. I was like, oh, sick, great. So I lockpick it, and then I got her out, and she's like following me now. She's like part of my party. I was like, oh, sick, fuck, yeah. Reinforcements, cool. These will make the fights much easier.
Yeah.
She doesn't do shit. Literally, like, she every time she hits, it's like 0 HP, 0 damage, and she's got like 10 HP herself, and I'm like, what the fuck? I went all the way out of my way to get you out, and you immediately die. So what were you supposed to do with her? Is there like some kind of like complicated shit you have to do with it, or
Okay.
or is it just like a red herring?
I'll give you some surface level stuff because there's a lot to the story that involves her.
Yeah.
But again, this is like how the game goes. You're supposed to beat the game on like a very surface level.
Yeah.
And then be like, okay, I feel confident now. Let's go and try and explore a bit more of the story.
Sure.
Yeah.
So the one thing that like is the immediate benefit of having her is that she'll take hits.
Yeah. She was basically a meat shield for me. Yeah.
She'll
just tank.
You know, the story dies if you die.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if she dies in your party,
Yeah.
you just continue on.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
no big deal, right? So that's the immediate benefit. The other benefit, if you had a time to explore a little more of the top level, is that you find like a kitchen knife that for some reason is the size of like what a kid can hold.
Okay.
And she will hold that knife.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't do much damage,
Yeah.
but
It's better than 0.
you might have also, did you search the bookshelves at all?
Yes. Okay. So I was
Yes.
I was gonna get to that.
Right.
But Joey, were you able to save?
Okay. Once.
You were
Okay,
able to save
Yeah.
once.
I saved once as the mercenary, which I think was the furthest I ever got.
Okay,
Yeah.
The second time I was playing as the priest guy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I lost the coin toss, and then the torture guy found me, and then I got tortured to death.
Yeah. So
Which was fucking horrifying.
So the exact same thing happened to me as well. So I remember like the aside from like killing the guard for the first time, like the very first aha moment that I got was tried saving. And I was like, okay, I lost the coin flip. I'm getting tortured to death. I have all my legs and arms chopped off. This is
and
bad.
he cuts his dick off as well.
Yeah, and the
Cuts his
dick,
off,
and
yeah.
it's always the fucking
Yeah.
dick. I don't know what it is about this game and fucking cutting dicks off, but it is always the dick. But I remember, so at least in my playthrough, there was the room with the bed in it,
Yeah.
and then there was this guy who was like running away from the
Yes,
torturer.
yes.
So Humphrey, I think.
So Humphrey
Yeah,
or whatever.
something like that.
Yeah. So instead of saving, I basically went up a bit more. So I had this cutscene where I went to this room and like I heard footsteps, right? And then it gave me the option to be like, what do you want to do? Do you want to run away? Do you want to ambush? Or do you
Oh,
want
I
to
got
just
that as
hide?
well, yes.
Yeah. So I ambushed.
Oh, okay. I hid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fucking pussy. You take the fight always. No. Because if you ambush, what would have happened is that you would have ambushed the torturer. Right?
Oh.
So I was like, fucking great. You fucking, you kill him.
Yeah.
And he's like defenseless as well. He's like one of the easiest.
It's a free fight.
Yeah,
Right.
the easiest enemy I fought in the game.
Yeah.
And I was like, I could kill you fast, or I could go straight for the head. And I'm like, nah. I'm going for every
Yeah, I
single
did
limb.
that too.
I'm going for every single limb. And it felt so fucking good.
Damn.
And then you behead him. And so you kill him. And so I was like, I wonder if this gives me a free save, right? So
Yeah.
I was like shitting myself because I was like, okay, I'm going to try and save now. And then I saved and it didn't give me a coin flip. And I was like,
Oh.
holy fucking shit, I have a free save.
Oh,
this is
shit.
gonna save me so much. I checked the time. 5 minutes of progress. I was like creaming myself over
Yeah.
making 5 minutes of progress in the game.
Yeah.
But eventually, like I found a scalpel in another room, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck to do with this. This is useless to me. I can't because I couldn't use it as a weapon. So then I explored the bookshelves as well, and I was like, feel like I should do a pro gamer move and read.
Yeah.
And so I started reading, and by reading these random books, some of them were like alchemy spells that I'm sure meant nothing to me. Yeah. And then one of them was like, okay, you can use the scalpel to skin enemies and then make a fucking skin cloak from your enemies to hide your smell. So I was like, holy shit, okay.
Right.
So I had already beaten 2 guards. So it gave me the option to skin them. And this sounds fucking horrific, by the way. It gave me the option to skin them if I kill 2 of them, which luckily I had. And basically, so I could just walk around undetected by every other guard.
I actually didn't even know that.
You didn't know that?
No, I know a lot about the game and I didn't know that.
Which is...
Wait, that's sick.
Yeah. So I made like a skin cloak out of the guards that I killed. So that way, even if I didn't have a torch, if I was like... Unless you were like right next to the guard, they just wouldn't notice you. So I got free reign to just explore that entire area.
Right.
And I got like all the way to like, okay, so this is going back to when I kept getting killed. So sometimes when I got killed by the guards, they would like chop my legs off and I would wake up in this fucking nightmare.
Yeah. I did that, yeah.
Like, it was like waking up in fucking like
in a womb.
Yeah, in a vagina or something. You've just been birthed and you're just like fucking crawling around.
Yes.
You're like crawling around.
It was fucking nasty.
And you're like, kill me, please. But I was eventually, thanks to the skin cloak, I was eventually able to get to that area with like my legs intact and just explore further in the castle. And then I hit another bed, and then I was like, all right, let's try saving this. Died, and I was like, all right, the hour's up. That feels like a good place to stop. But it got to the point where I felt like I was making progress in the game. Just like naturally without the game telling me anything. It was just like me discovering these mechanics by myself.
Yeah, it kind of wants you to save and then just start going like and trying stuff.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that thing you were too scared to try earlier. Well, you have a save like 2 minutes ago. Why don't you try it? See if you die. Like, see what happens. And pick up this information.
Yeah.
It wants you to read the books. The books tell you a lot about like what's going on. And allow you to kind of piece together what you should be doing. And obviously you kind of figure out, as you kind of explained, you need to keep going deeper and deeper in this dungeon to find out what's really going on. And obviously when you go into that like dead body room, you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. I mean, the courtyard was the one that fucked me up as well. Like, I'd walk outside and it's like, oh, there's a bunch of people being naked and hung. That's lovely.
Oh, that I've completely blanked my mind with that. But it made me...
And then I walked... so the furthest I got was I got through that courtyard and I managed to open the door, even though for some reason when I went there the first time around, I couldn't open the gate for whatever reason. But this time I managed to get in.
Yeah.
And then... on the other side of the door, what awaits? A bunch of dudes dressed in black, sacrificing something to the Lord or something.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck's happening here? I talked to one of them and he immediately killed me. So
it's kind of funny because I think when Undertale came out, that required you to talk to everyone.
Yeah.
And so I think it made a lot of people think like, if there's a talk mechanic in the game, that must be the key to figuring out the game.
Yeah.
It is absolutely not the case.
No,
in
it's
Fear and
not.
Hunger.
Okay.
There are occasionally enemies where talking to them is what you need to do, but it's so rarely that it's kind of genius in a way where it's like you're always on edge. So you don't want to talk to someone because they could get a free hit on you.
Yeah.
But then sometimes there is the time when you have to talk to someone and you're like, fuck, I need to figure out based on all the clues when that is. But it's so punishing and unforgiving that you're like, God damn it. But it feels so unbelievably satisfying when you figure something out, like the skin cloak.
Yeah.
Because you're like, holy shit, this is so fucking unfair. I just figured something out. Without having any help.
I would say this is going to sound like a fucking curveball. The closest gaming experience I've had to Fear and Hunger, it's probably Jump King.
How so? Oh, because it's about resetting and just going at it again.
It's
trial and error.
It's about trial and error, and it's about like, because the game is so punishing, you feel such a rush from the smallest amount of progress. Like just being able to go to a different room or just kill a single guard gives you such a feeling of like victory. And I just remember like having the safety net of finding a save point I didn't need to coin flip for.
Yeah.
That was like insane to me. And then I got tilted because I found another save point and I didn't need to coin flip for it at all. So I was like, oh, this is great. I saved over my previous save file, and then I went exploring again, and then I went back, and they were like, actually, it's dangerous now. You need to coin flip every time. And I was like, fuck! I just saved over my save point.
It's probably one of the only games that I would highly recommend always saving on a new save.
Yeah.
Because you never know when you might have accidentally fucked yourself over.
Again, that's
and
my
you go back.
JRPG brain. I'm like, I only need one save.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Same.
You know, because what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
But in this one, it's like, oh, you might have accidentally used a resource, or you might have taken too much damage.
Yeah.
You actually need to go back.
Yeah.
But what's so cool about it is that you spend so many hours just trying to survive that you don't even consider the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when you get more confident and you're like, all right, I'm starting to get a hold of this dungeon. I'm starting to figure out how things work. Then you can start, all right, now I want to figure out what's going on.
Well, it was actually the whole world that made me want to continue playing it. Because if it was like the game mechanics alone, I'd be like, I don't want to do this.
I mean, the game mechanics, like, frankly, suck.
Yeah.
For like,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty unforgiving. It's unfair, and it's almost bullshit. At
Yeah.
times. Like a lot of stuff. Also, like there's a lot of programming issues where like stuff just doesn't work. Like there are some abilities that they say work that just don't.
Yeah.
It's very troll. Like I think the defense stat is just completely broken.
Yeah.
It doesn't work at all in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to explore more of the world and the story and the lore, because it is fucking fascinating. It's just,
Can I?
man, I do not have the patience.
I want to spoil one thing for you that absolutely like made me like think, holy shit. The only issue is that there are a few, like a fair amount of things in the game that even if you were really paying attention, you would just never find out.
Yeah.
Without someone else who just found it out online. But it's almost kind of fun in a sense, because you're like, I've learned so much that when you feel like, okay, I'm kind of beyond spoilers. Like I know the story, I know what's going on.
Yeah.
When someone tells you something, you're like, oh shit, you can do that?
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I'm gonna try it. And it's really interesting. And I mean, I want to show you one.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think I'm
your
gonna continue playing this game,
should.
but this is not a game I would ever play not on stream.
You gotta,
Yeah,
please stream it. Please stream you playing it, because I think you're gonna continually have your mind blown.
Yeah, because there was like so many things where I'm like, I need. But this is the one game where I need people to handhold me through some of this moment, through some of the points.
Yeah.
Some of it is just like, it was really cool discovering for myself, but there were some points where I just literally did not know what to do, and it was just like bashing my head against the wall.
I'm trying to think like, what are some kind of really cool things that I can kind of help explain that don't spoil much? Because there are.
I mean, I actually, I'm more inclined to be like, don't say anything more to me, because
Right.
it was really cool just going into this completely blind and just discovering it all for myself. And yeah, I think I'm gonna continue playing this game because I think the biggest thing that intrigued me were some of like the monster designs, just the way
the monster designs are sick.
just
as
the
hell.
way it makes you feel, man.
So you got here, right?
Yeah.
To this place.
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is you should try and interact with this wall.
Oh, okay.
You should go and talk to it and see what
Oh.
happens. Yeah.
Wait, is that when the fucking wizard guy pops out?
Yeah. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Wait, did you see it?
Yeah.
Wait.
I did not see that.
That's when the game for me was like, oh shit.
No, that fucking terrified me. And then he summons the fucking
let me show Joey.
demon or some shit like that.
What?
Yeah.
This is like, how did you accidentally come across this? Because I didn't think to do this.
JRPG brain. I was trying to. I tried to interact with everything and anything. So if anything had an interact button, I would just press it. You know, you can probably just load up my playthrough.
Oh yeah, you got it. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Is it this one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, is it this
What
one?
the fuck is
check-
that?
Yeah.
So check this out, Jay.
Yeah, so I was crawling around and I was like, I'm sure there's something to interact with here. They wouldn't send me down here just to crawl around and restart the game. So I just
That fucking music.
that
fucking
music as well.
the drone.
Yeah. This terror. I was like terrified actually during this point. And then the fucking demon that comes from the
Oh my
back as
God.
well. What the fuck?
Oh my god. That's fucking terrifying.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, what is that?
You are crushed
Yeah.
with great pressure. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Yeah, your reaction there of just it was literally how I was. I was like, oh, good again.
Because this
All
was
right,
like
sick.
this was before I like made any progress. This is before I even killed an enemy.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, you found this. See, I didn't find this at all in my first run.
Yeah.
Fun. Oh, I found that. Yeah,
You
I
found
found
that?
that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't have any lesser souls, so I couldn't use it. Oh, you found a lesser soul?
Yeah. I found a lesser soul.
I didn't find a lesser soul.
How did you find a lesser soul? I did not find this mechanic at all my first playthrough.
Oh.
But this is how you literally gain abilities.
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Yeah. I found lesser souls by killing things.
Yeah, and then the stones that you have. that
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not find lesser souls.
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
Shit, that's crazy. You figured that out. In the
Yeah.
first- that's nuts.
That's
literally my first 20-hour playthrough didn't find it.
I basically, I think the way I made progress in this game was like, you know, something like Jump King, where you just save scum.
Yeah, you just have
and
to-
you, and
yeah.
you just like, I just interacted with everything, even if it was just like a bookshelf or a table.
Yeah.
Like there was like rotten meat on the floor, and I'm like, what happens if I eat it? You know, I literally just tried doing everything.
There's a purpose to like 90% of the things.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like almost everything you come across, it can be used for something.
Yeah.
So you just don't know what.
Yeah, exactly.
And
So
there's no punishment for holding more stuff in the game.
yeah.
So you should just pick up everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think my OCD JRPG brain actually helped me here.
Okay.
Because I did try to kill everything, even though you just said the most optimal way to play the game is just to avoid every enemy.
Yeah.
I would avoid every enemy until I found a save that was safe or like save point. I would
you could
literally
try.
like
Yeah, yeah.
backtrack,
And kill everything.
kill the enemy. If I took damage, restart. Just do it, and I would get like
right.
random drops of items. Some of them I didn't know what they were, but I just kept everything, and I just like just kept replaying
That was
it.
smart, yeah.
Yeah, and then I think I made decent progress in the game, and I was like, this feels fun, but also this is it's gonna take a lot of patience.
Yeah, it is patience testing
Yeah.
for sure.
And I feel like I need a few thousand people to handhold me because I don't want to do this by myself.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair.
When,
But,
when I played it, it was so niche. So there was like, even people, when I was live streaming, they didn't really know what to do.
Yeah,
But yeah, there's a few mechanics that I was like, this is legit impossible to figure out.
Yeah.
Without someone telling you this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess I won't tell you.
So conclusion, really fucking enjoyed the game. And
Hell yeah.
well, I'll probably play it on stream when I have the courage to experience the rest of it, because it does take a lot of
I
courage.
got to cut off those tails.
Yeah.
Cut off those tails.